What's this?
Maybach music.
I like this Maybach music. Sweet.
Welcome to Lakers Digital Daily, your go-to podcast for everything Lakers, basketball, LA lifestyle, and sports opinions. I'm your host, McGee, coming to you from beautiful San Pedro. As a 40-year-old lifelong sports enthusiast hailing from Inglewood, California, specifically from the intersections of Hillsdale Street and Inglewood Ave, I am thrilled to bring you the latest updates, insights, exciting discussions about our beloved Lakers and the world of sports. So sit back, relax, and join me on this daily journey through the exciting world of the Lakers basketball world and beyond. Let's dive in.
My man McGee in San Pedro, Lakers Digital Daily, presented by McGee. The floor is yours, sir.
Beto, once again, I want to say thank you for an excellent season. You've been a great host. This call is brought to you by Cutwater Lime Margarita.
I actually had the Paloma yesterday. Not bad.
Man, all of them.
All right.
I left Buzzball, went to Cutwater. I'm very proud of this team for this performance today.
Wait, hold on. I got for today's performance only, right?
Today's performance, yeah.
Okay. Just clarify.
I'm proud of them for today's performance because I said the first 6 minutes were very important. They weathered the storm. They continue to fight back. We obviously have limitations in our offense and our shooting. Dinwiddie, Austin, the missed free throws were big. I mean, I won't say they cost us the game, but Austin missed the first two on that three-point free throws, and then Dinwiddie just sealed his fate as a Laker with his two missed free throws. We just got to go back and I think we do need to talk to Rob Pelinka and let him know that it's time to let a professional person come in and run the franchise. Nothing against Rob. He's a great guy, but the time has come. And we have to get a grown man point guard. I mean, what would we be right now with Mike Conley? Like, geez, Louise, just somebody who can control things. But we talked about the draft, Beto. They've made 2 picks the last 2 years. What are we going to do with these 2 guys? How are they need to be incorporated? The fact that Christie didn't play all playoffs is disappointing.
How about all season?
All season, yeah, it's disappointing. It really is for a team that's we're a middling team, and if we're not using our draft picks, why? Who are we using them with? And we're using them with veteran guys. Like, I don't know. I don't know about that. Rob really dropped the ball with that. The Lakers just need to kind of figure out, obviously, LeBron, but they need to accept the chemistry and let this team stay together somewhat. Let Rui stay. Austin, D'Lo, be who the Nuggets are now. Like, they know where to go when it's time. Even their role players are in the right spot for the right shot. And that takes time. It takes years of suffering, years of disappointment. Obviously, LeBron doesn't have that many years left, but LeBron's a freak of nature. Like, can we stop at the end of the year and say, wow, this guy is 39? Like, he's the same age as me.
Yeah, you should. I mean, what we saw from LeBron this year, night in, night out, it is fantastic. This is going to be where you tell your kids, man, LeBron at 39 was doing this. Jordan wasn't doing it. Just what he did this season is fantastic individually. But at the end of the day, for Laker fans, that's cool and all. But first round exit, who cares?
He did not show enough leadership and maturity in many games. He needs to carry himself a lot differently going into next year. He has to accept that guys are not him, and that he needs to accept that this team has to grow organically. There's nobody coming in. They didn't get Kyrie, which, let me take another sip. We really needed Kyrie. Like, I'm sorry. I love Austin. I love the picks and all that. We needed Kyrie. Kyrie is the difference between us competing for a championship or not, because watching the Clippers have no answer for that guy. And he's just that type of player. So
Who knows?
You know, the Lakers got to grow
knows?
organically now. There's no more superstars really coming out of the league that we're just going to fetch. We have to grow organically. And as LeBron
I like this Maybach.
descends,
Oh, he's gone.
Sway.
Oh, he was going so good. Hooper's McGee, my man, San Pedro. Great points. Make sure you follow him. That's good stuff.
Niggas wanna see you lose when you're making moves. We bringing tools in any rooms, we try to break the rules. Niggas is haters, they ain't goons, we try to make a fool. I never thought I'd make fourth before I made the news. Having a threesome with some bitches, it still ain't the muse. I pick and choose, put on my juice like I lit the fuse. I call it
Laker
killers be like,
Digital
100 grand,
Daily,
get split in two.
a podcast for the real Laker fans, the real ones. It's your boy McGee. It's the off season. Let's talk about it. All right, y'all. All right, yeah, man. It's May the 5th, Cinco de Mayo, Sunday. Welcome to Lakers Digital Daily. It's your host, McGee from San Pedro. Dropping some important information. If you have not heard, Darvin Ham has been let go as the coach of the Lakers as of, I think, Friday. I didn't get a chance to get on. Darvin was let go. Darvin is a B- coach. I don't see him doing much worse. I could actually see him picking up another job real soon. I think he'll land right on his feet. Probably as an assistant coach, a bench coach, strong bench coach that will bring some tenacity, intensity, and credibility to an organization. And if the right job comes along, he may get another head coaching job. So wish him well. He did fall short of the expectations we had for the last 2 years, especially bringing the synergy of the Russ and AD LeBron thing. Wasn't all his fault, but somebody was going to get fired. My biggest thing about Darvin was I did not feel he nurtured the role players like he should have. I don't feel like he got the most he could have out of Christian Wood and Jackson Hayes this year. So how much of this has to do with AD and LeBron? A lot. I think they're still looking for a coach they can trust, a coach that can get the most out of the team, others on the team, somebody that can keep AD a little bit more fresh and keep a stronger defensive prowess on the team. I think LeBron's in Never Never Land, and he's just kind of playing. I think AD has more interest in scheme, and the next coach should be doing things to prolong and extend his prime window. LeBron is just kind of going to go where the chips may fall. The Bronny pick is really important. The Lakers may make it. I don't know. The next coach is signing on to a lot of drama. And coming from a lot of NBA insiders, the LeBron dynamic, the Bronny dynamic will definitely strain the amount of possible candidates, especially legitimate candidates, for the job. Therefore, I think the Lakers need to move quick. I think they need somebody who has been coaching and working and scouting and seeing film on the Western Conference. If you ask me, Lakers are far behind within the conference with other teams who are younger, fresher, and dynamic approaching. So I don't think this needs to be some big name. It needs to be somebody that is going to come in, get straight to work. And most of these people in the league know each other. The league knows each other. So somebody who's never had a job before, doesn't matter to me. Do they know what they're doing? Do they know how to get the most out of film room? And can they get the young players to play hard and play championship ball. Let's play a game of who I don't want to see and who I do want to see as possible candidates for the Laker job. Starting with Doc Rivers. I don't want to hear about Doc Rivers. I don't want to see him as a possible candidate. I don't believe he is going to get the most out of LeBron and AD. I think he's an alienator. He'll alienate the younger guys. He will go along with the LeBron thing and then throw it under the bus. Don't want Doc Rivers. Don't want to hear about Mike D'Antoni. Don't think that would be a classic vintage Genie type move. And she would recall her dad as somebody who would have wanted D'Antoni. Don't want D'Antoni. Doesn't fit. Lakers are too old. The hierarchy are too old. And he will be another person to alienate the Bronny situation. Mark Jackson. Don't want to hear about Mark Jackson. Not that I have any problem with Mark Jackson. He's been out the league too long. And his assistants will be dinosaurs and guys who can't connect with a younger generation. Nothing against Mark Jackson. I love me some Mark Jackson. But not for the Laker job. No. No. Who I would not mind hearing. My top one would be Kenny Atkinson for two reasons, maybe three. He's been working in the Western Conference in the Pacific Division as an assistant coach for the past 3 or 4 years. He's bounced the Clippers and the Warriors. He's turned down a Charlotte job when he had it in the bank, which tells me he's either happy where he was in Golden State or looking for a bigger job. He was the head coach of the Nets when D'Angelo Russell had his best season in his All-Star year, which means there's some type of familiarity and comfort with Coach Atkinson. If the Lakers can get a coach who can nurture a D'Angelo Russell, who can bring comfort to his game, puts us in a good position. The D-Lo, Anthony Davis pick and roll is very lethal. It needs some fine-tuning. It needs some coaching. That's it. The more coaching those two guys can get, the more comfortable and confident I believe they'll both be in the fourth quarter to execute. Atkinson understands older, smart stars. He's been with Golden State. He chose to stay within the Golden State system and organization when he could take a head coaching job. He understands the drama and the expectations. Like Kenny Atkinson. Sam Cassell, to me, would be a strong Ty Lue-ish type hire. You can't get Ty Lue, why not get Sam? I believe he's someone who not only would nurture and develop younger talent, I think he would also nurture and develop a young coaching staff that would give our organization a jump start for the future, and for future personnel development. I believe he is a respected player, coach, somebody who could also work to rebuild our front office. Front offices needs to be rebuilt, revamped. It's so sad and stubborn. People are being stubborn because by now Magic Johnson, I believe, would have brought in the executives that know how to run an organization. And I believe Kurt Rambis and Pelinka are threatened by that type of infusion. But Jeannie Buss will have to make a decision sooner or later regarding those guys. Anyway, JJ Redick, I like because we already a circus, we already are Hollywood, we already are polarized. So you take a pretty quick-witted, strong-minded individual, and you make him a head coach, and you probably gonna give him a lot of money because why would he be jumping into this without getting a lot of money? And from Jeannie Buss, from AEG, I just really hope that JJ is a good fit, a good person to be a head coach. Because if he is not, he'll be somebody who will be getting paid to go back to ESPN and
What is
criticize
this?
and critique the Lakers.
Maybach music.
I like this Maybach music.
Juwan Howard, I don't like.
Sway.
Rondo, I don't like.
Sway.
I'm not happy.
Niggas wanna see you lose when you're making moves. We bringing tools in any rooms, we try break the rules. Niggas is haters, they ain't goons, we try make food. I never thought I'd make fours before I made the news. Having a threesome with some bitches, it still ain't amused. I pick and choose, put on my juices like I lit the fuse. I call the shots and all the killers be like, what's the move? 100 grand, you and your little man, getting split in two.
All right, we back. Lakers Digital Daily. All right, yeah, it's the playoffs. I'm not going to sound too excited because, of course, our Lakers were bounced by Denver. Just to catch you up, playoff recap. Denver lost game 1 to Minnesota. All right, Anthony Edwards, 43 points. I think if you listened to my last episode, you heard me say Denver was going to start off slow in this series. I still have them winning in 7. I think they'll get their footing and get a game in Minnesota. Minnesota's going to be crazy, though. It's going to be a crazy scene. I love seeing that. I love seeing cities get to have that playoff hope, that chance, that game 3 in their city. Something that hasn't been there in 20 years. Boston will play Cleveland. Cleveland beat Orlando in a 7-game series today. Orlando, I just put that out there. Shout out to them. I watched them a lot this season in different league pass situations. They will be a threat in the East real soon. Boston, Cleveland. Boston will have to deal with some size. Mobley and Allen, but that duo, as well as the backcourt duo, is still kind of sketchy in Cleveland. I don't see them lasting too long in that series, maybe 5, maybe a freaky 6-game series. But once again, like I say all the time, still one. It's a real one. So Cleveland can steal a game in Boston. It goes back to Cleveland. It's a little bit of pixie dust in the city of Cleveland. A little bit of LeBron's magic may, linger on Boston for a couple more games than normal. We'll see. Celtics in 6. We have Indiana and the New York Knicks starting tomorrow, round 2. This is going to be a high-scoring series. This is going to be a wild, crazy series. And I'm interested to see if Rick Carlisle is going to outcoach Tom Thibodeau and take this series from the Knicks. Halliburton has to be special. He has to force Jalen Brunson to play defense and to follow him around the court. Josh Hart has to be contained. Siakam. If Siakam gets going, if Siakam feels good, if Siakam looks down and sees OG Apiani and says, "You're my little homie, you're my little bro, you're my little son, and I'm not gonna let you get into me. I know your moves. I know where you want to go. I know where you're gonna try to defend me." If Siakam goes to another level, goes to that third team NBA All-Star reserve level, Indiana could be in the driver's seat. Like I say all the time, still one, it's a real one. Still one in New York, you got a real game. I like the Knicks. And Knicks in 6. Brunson is amazing. He's just when the little point guard in the backyard shooting, working on his game. We thought that was it. Brunson is amazing. If you're a young point guard, even with a little weight on you, just keep working, man. Keep working. Have somebody, duck under, right, left, mid-range shot. Those little things he did with his dad. Bring out the big-time moments. He's a big-time player, big-time guy. Indiana's going to have trouble with him. But Indiana's going to come in. They're going to keep playing their type of game. I love Rick Carlisle. I love me some Rick Carlisle. He can coach his ass off, and we go see what he does against New York, against Thibodeau. Thibodeau cannot get too stubborn and cannot get too stuck on the same guys. They're going to run. You're going to need an extra guy, and maybe two, just to keep the flow going. With the Knicks, McBride, OG, Harkstein, they got a real playoff team now, playoff field. Last matchup, OKC and Dallas. OKC swept the Pelicans. Dallas beat the Clippers, and that's going to get to my next segment. But let's talk about this series. This is going to be Shea, Luka, but it's a lot. It's more than just those two guys. OKC is a young, hungry, determined new team, and I'm interested to see what they bring to the table and how they go at Luka and Kyrie. I got Dallas in 5 people. I don't see who, what thunder, what element, whatever is going to stop Kyrie Irving. And if he doesn't see enough, he looks over and doesn't see enough, not heart, not fearlessness, but just, okay, they don't know me. They've never really touched me. They've never really played in the playoffs against a guy like me. If that happens, Kyrie is going to destroy OKC. Dallas in 5. And, let's take a quick break. We'll talk about how Dallas got to this point by beating the Clippers and what this means about the future and the legacy of the Los Angeles Clippers, who, for the first time since moving to Los Angeles, will not play in Los Angeles. They'll be playing now in the great city, my hometown of Inglewood. Let's talk about it. Let's see where this stands and what importance this has in LA culture, basketball culture, and what was all the fuss about? All the Lob City and all the banners and all the
Maybach music.
I like this Maybach.
LA takeover stuff. What really was accomplished? All right, hold tight. Coming next.
Niggas wanna see you lose when you're making moves. We We bringing tools in any rooms, we try to break the rules. Niggas is haters, they ain't goons, we try to make a fool. I never thought I'd make fours before I made the news. Having a threesome with some bitches that still ain't amused. I pick and choose, put on my juices like I lit the fuse. I call the shots and all the killers be like, what's the move? 100 grand, you and your little man getting split in two.
The Los Angeles Clippers are a franchise that has been an up and down roller coaster for most of their existence. To give a brief summary of their conception, the San Diego Clippers were relocated and redubbed as the Los Angeles Clippers, and they were indeed the laughingstock of the NBA. Before the 2010s, they would only make the playoffs 6 times in their 28 years of being a franchise. Their best years ranged from being mediocre to surprising in some areas. While they had some star players to play for their organization, they were never good enough to make the Clippers stay relevant for a long period of time. They were known as the franchise that were the little brothers to a more superior Los Angeles team, as the Lakers, whom at the time had more championships than they had playoff appearances. They were known as a team that drafted a bust with their #1 overall pick in the '98 draft over players like Vince Carter, Dirk Nowitzki, and Paul Pierce. And they never had a franchise cornerstone that would help them contend for titles and be taken seriously. But due to the Clippers in 2009 having one of the worst records in the league, they were able to grab the #1 overall pick for the '09 draft, which they would end up selecting
Blake Griffin, the all-galaxy, all-everything forward from the University of Oklahoma, goes number
flyer in Oklahoma, and at the time was looked at.
What's going on, Laker Nation? I want to be completely clear with you, and I want to say that I don't wish the Clippers no harm. And this is not the Laker just bash the Clippers thing. The Clippers have done some great things, especially over the past 15 years. Obviously, they've lost a lot. They lost a lot in the early 2000s. They whiffed on some picks. Things didn't go their way. Okay. Blake Griffin, his emergence, and his ability to run the pick and roll brought Chris Paul and brought a legitimate team to the Western Conference landscape. The Clippers lost so much from the time I started watching basketball to the point of the inception and the emergence of Lob City, that even as good as Chris Paul, as electric as Blake Griffin was, and then grabbing Doc Rivers from Boston and just changing, the landscape while Kobe was, going out of his, coming out of his, leaving his prime and his later years, ascending into retirement. The Clippers were able to grab a lot of players, put together some solid regular season teams, and just they could not make it there. The demise of Lob City brought still good drafting, valuable scouting, and a next man up type mentality that Patrick Beverly was able to use. Lou Williams was the sixth man. And this little Jerry West or Michael Ware, somebody found this point guard from Kentucky who had, like a lot of Kentucky players, a little untapped potential. And that young man is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, who was a valuable asset. And now that you think about it, maybe one of the greatest Clipper assets ever. With that pick, with that asset, they were able to get Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, which was part of the video and some of the sound you heard. The Paul George, Kawhi Leonard move was maybe one of the biggest free agent move that I ever witnessed, because Laker fans are just waiting for Kawhi just to hop on over. And not only did Kawhi not decide to go with the Lakers, went with the Clippers. We also added on Paul George. Paul George had swung to the Lakers with AD arriving, or Kawhi with AD and LeBron. I think we would be talking about a different NBA right now. And I just don't see anybody stopping an AD, Paul George, LeBron team. I just don't. Paul George's shooting and his ability to get all over the court and score from all over the court. But these Clippers moves have been very questionable, very calculated towards battling the Lakers, and Westbrook 2 for $8 million, and now he's not going to even be around. He's going to go get more money somewhere. He opted out. Zubac, he's worked the regular season, but postseason he doesn't add another level, a layer. But I love Zubac and always will. And once he becomes a shooter or a shooting threat, he'll be able to stay on the court longer and be more impactful and matter for a team. Clippers will keep Zubac around. Zubac's solid. There's a lot of players, but this Staples Center's crypto era Clippers team, this has been really their Jordan. They've won more. Long story short, Clippers are moving into a new stadium. What are they going to do? What's really going to happen now? I think they can win the title next year and change the whole narrative. Their own stadium will be important. They'll be trying to match up days. They may fall into a Laker game or two. They have to watch out. Harden, George, Westbrook, Kawhi, you bring back whatever you can. You bring back all basketball credibility into this new place, this new building. You don't try to get rid of or get too cheap now. You bring back all basketball credible people, players, and make sure they're in that stadium for next year and the next years to come. You got to find the star. You got to find the star who maybe when it comes to L.A. wants to play in this new stadium. That's the last point I'll make. Just want to say thank you, Clippers. I think if your success, well, the Staple Crypto Arena, help keep the Lakers' attention. And we've won 6 titles since we've been there. We wouldn't have done it without you. Obviously in wins, but also in influence and motivation. Thank you. Thank you, Clippers. Good luck. We'll see you at your new stadium really soon. Peace.
What is this?
Maybach music.
I like this Maybach music. Sweet.
Sweet.
Niggas wanna see you lose when you're making moves. We bringing tools in any rooms, we try to break the rules. Niggas is haters, they ain't goons, we try to make a fool. I never thought I'd make fours before I made the news. Having a threesome with some bitches and still ain't amused. I pick and choose, put on my juice like I lit the fuse. I call the shots and all the killers be like, what's the move? 100 grand, you and your little man getting split in two.